Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Faringer, an attorney, spiritual guide, and wealth activator. I'm here to help you align your mindset for abundance and break through any glass ceilings with money. If you're ready to embrace your highest calling, manifest with more ease, and create a life that feels lighter and more aligned, then let's dive in. Hello. Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I am Brianna Faringer, your host, and I'm really excited about this episode because I am going to talk today about the link between your mindset and your chronic health issues or other things that are happening within your body. And this is actually a really big topic, and I'm sure I'll have some follow-up content that relates to this because it is such a big topic and it is something that affects so many people. There are so many people that suffer from chronic health issues and have tried what they think are all of the possible solutions and can't resolve it. And it could be that there is something emotional or related to your beliefs and thoughts around yourself, life, relationships with people that can be causing and manifesting in the form of a chronic health issue. And so there's just so many different things to talk about in this area. But I'm going to start with, if you have listened to the first episode, you will know that one of the chronic health issues I've had, and I've had a lot, and I have not talked about all of them, but one of them I had was chronic lower back pain. It was not debilitating. It was incredibly irritating. And it was something that I had for over 7 years. I was able to resolve my own chronic lower back pain by changing my beliefs around money. For the entirety of my life, had financial scarcity and was always worried about money. And I would have never in a million years thought that that was something that was causing me chronic pain in my body. I had no idea. I had pursued what I thought was like every medical solution. I spent a ton of time, money, effort, my own energy pursuing what I thought would be solutions from the medical community to find that nothing worked. And so I share that because there are so many people that struggle with health problems and they are only looking for solutions in the medical world or for a physical solution, when it might very well be that it is an emotional or a mindset issue that's manifesting in your body in the form of chronic pain, a chronic health issue, something that's coming up. Now, I want to say I am not a doctor. I am not giving anybody medical advice on this podcast, or ever do I when I'm working with clients one-on-one, because this is a topic that does come up a lot. I'm not a doctor, a medical professional. I don't work in the medical field. I'm not giving anybody medical advice. The information that I discuss in this podcast is based on my own personal experiences and the experiences of other people that I know that have gone through chronic health issues and have resolved them using non-traditional solutions, or solutions that they would never have thought would be the thing that made them feel better. I'll say that. And so this topic is very frustrating for people. And I understand it because I have lived through it, not just with chronic back pain. I've had a lot of issues, chronic digestive issues, chronic pelvic pain, chronic joint pain. I had chronic sinus infections and pneumonia for a year. I've had a lot. Like, there's so many, I can't even think of all of them, but I have dealt with this in a lot of different capacities personally. And I can tell you that the way all of them got better were not through any avenues that I thought they would be. And when you have a chronic health issue that you can't figure out how to resolve, it is very frustrating. And I will tell you, I have people that will reach out to me. They'll send me a message on social media and they'll say something like, just tell me how to fix it. And I understand that statement, tell me how to fix it. It's got some energy of frustration, maybe even desperation in it, and I have been there. There was many points in my journey where I was like, I just need somebody to tell me what to do. And there's a couple of issues that arise with that. Number one, everybody is different. We are all unique. And two people that are presenting the exact same health issue may require two different treatments or solutions. And so I can tell people what I personally did. I can tell people what other people I know have done who've gone through chronic health issues, but I can't tell you go do this. Like step one, call this person. Step two, take this medicine. I can't do that. And in a lot of instances, nobody can. And the reason is because the places that you are looking might not be the answer to your problem. That's why you're still haven't gotten any sort of resolve to the issue that you're having. But when you are in this kind of mindset of, I need somebody else to fix this for me, there's a couple things going on. It takes away your power. And I think if I was going to tell anybody that's in a place of just a chronic health issue in general, but if you are particularly frustrated with, not being able to find a solution, that just remember you have the power to change your own life, and your body has the ability to heal itself. Now, when I say that, I do not mean that you don't need somebody's help outside of you. What I am trying to get people to think about is the perspective that they have when they need help with something. And I'm talking specifically now about a chronic health issue. If you have a chronic health issue, it's very easy to be like, I need somebody to fix this, right? Like that's when people will message me and say, tell me how to fix it. And I can tell that that person has gotten to a very disempowered place because they have tried so many things and they just want help. But what that does, that perspective of needing to have somebody outside fix things for you, takes your power away from you. And if you can just, number one, get into the place where you recognize that you have the power to find the solution. It might be with other people and treatments or therapies that they offer. And you have the power to choose how you proceed with your own health issue. It will significantly change how you feel about moving forward. I guarantee it, because being in the energy of, I don't know what to do, I need somebody else to fix this, is very different from, I have the power to decide what I do with my health, and I have the power to resolve this if I am open to all of the ways that that can be presented to me. Those energies are very different. And the first energy that I was describing is a very blocking energy. If you're in the energy of, I need someone to fix this for me, or I need to know the answer to this, or I have to have a solution, the have to and like the attachment energy, it will prevent you from getting the answers that you need. I can guarantee it. And I experienced this. I didn't know it at the time, but I can see it very clearly looking back. I had beliefs about the only ways that I thought some of these health issues could be resolved. And I can tell you, I was wrong about all of them. And so when you are kind of like putting your reliance on other people, you are really, really limiting yourself to what those people's abilities are, including if it's a medical professional. And I, by the way, I'm not slamming doctors or medical professionals. I appreciate them and I still see them myself when I feel the need to do so. What I am suggesting, though, is that there might be a solution to your physical problem that is not through Western medicine. And I'm going to get into some specifics because a lot of people I know have resolved their own chronic health issues using things that they never would have believed that would help them, and that people in the medical community never would have suggested to them. And so just recognizing that you have the power of choice. And something that comes along with that is not letting other people in your life dictate how you are and are not moving forward with your chronic health issue. Something I experienced was a lot of people wanting to help, which is really nice. But I will caution you when like getting information from other people, whether it's about a chronic health issue or anything, you need to be discerning about it and you need to decide for yourself what's the best way to proceed. So when I started exploring holistic and spiritual solutions to some of my health issues, like just looking at initially other things like Reiki, acupuncture, um, I saw a naturopath. Like there was just some other people that I was involving in my you know, journey to try to find solutions to some of my health issues that were not traditional. And I would have people in my life that would not openly say, like, oh, that's stupid. But I could tell in the way that they were responding to me that they didn't believe that any of it was going to work. Which, if you allow people's beliefs about something to get into your mind, it will prevent you from finding solutions that are probably the very solution that's going to get you feeling better in your body. I'm just going to tell you that. So I'll give you an example. I was, I started seeing an acupuncturist. I was just going to see like what of all of the health issues that I had at the time, maybe she could help me with. I wasn't going for anything specific. I was like, this is just another thing I'm going to try. I had done acupuncture before, a decade before, for a completely different problem. And at that time, acupuncture did not work on that problem. But I did not let that stop me from trying it again for something else. Because the thing is, you might try a solution for one thing and it may not work, but it might work for something else that's happening in your body. So I'm saying that as a side note because don't think just because, oh, I've tried that before and it doesn't work, it might actually help you on this new, different issue. So I throw that out there. Also, there are solutions that work for some people that don't work for others. So anyway, I started going to acupuncture, and there were some people in my life that would kind of, I could just tell it was very subtle. They were like, that's stupid. And I'm like, I could care less, because I really don't care what other people think. And I'm not going to let them dictate what I do and don't do with my own body and my health. If they don't want to do acupuncture, great, good for them. I was making a choice for what I knew was best for me and my body. And that's when I was exercising my power. And that's why I'm saying, like, don't give your power away to other people just because you don't think you have found the solution. It is within you, and your body can heal itself if you continue to just really hold on to that belief and the knowing that you will find the solution. You just may have to keep trying some new things, and that's very frustrating. But acupuncture actually significantly helped with the digestive issues that I was having. So if that was something somebody else was experiencing, would I say, hey, you might want to try this? I mean, it could work for them. It might not, but it might. And so I'm just saying this because it's so important to know when you have a chronic health issue, we are all so different. If you talk to somebody and they're like, oh, I did acupuncture and it didn't do anything, they had a completely different issue than you, probably, and their body is different, and it is going to respond to a treatment differently than your body is. So don't discount things just because somebody's like, no, that's stupid. That's not going to work. I tried it. It didn't work. It might not have worked for them, but it might work for you. And so, I'm kind of relating this all back to the taking your power back. When you have a health issue, again, it can be so easy to just say, I want somebody else to fix this. When you shift that back into, I have the power to decide what I do with my own health. I have the power to find a solution, because you do. You might require help of other people, but that's not giving away your power. That's you saying, I'm in my body. I choose to find a solution. My body can heal itself. Your body can do miraculous things if you allow it to. If you have a belief that your body can heal itself, it can start to do that. If you have a belief that the only way your body can heal itself is through medicine or taking a prescription drug, or because a doctor tells you something, you are going to be limiting what your body's capabilities are. That is absolutely a certainty. Our thoughts create our reality. And so when we dictate what we think the solution is to our chronic health issue, you are saying these are the only avenues I'm willing to go down, and other opportunities to present themselves to you will not come into your life. So this kind of leads me into the second topic I want to cover, which is not being so attached to the why, the what, and the like the when it's going to happen. So something that I experienced, what I would be like, why is this happening to me? And I can look back now and see very clearly that being in the energy of why am this happening? Am I being punished? What's going on? Why is this? I'm so healthy? Because I really was. On paper, I'm a very, very healthy person. And I was like, this just doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? And I was so caught up on that. And I know that it was preventing me from being able to find the solutions. Sometimes it doesn't matter why something is happening, it just is. When you can get to a level of acceptance around this just is happening in my life, and I'm not going to get caught up in why it's happening, the what about it, like what is this, what's causing it. Sometimes you don't need to know the cause. Sometimes you just need to know there's a solution. I hate to tell people that, but that is absolutely the truth, and when it's going to be resolved. If you get caught up in what, why, when constantly, like what is this, why is it happening, when is it going to be fixed, that is a very constrictive energy. And if you start to kind of like, if you were to just close your eyes and see how that feels in your body, being in the energy of why, what, when, it's so constrictive, it's stressful, it's frustrating, it causes like anger to come up. Whereas if you are just in the curiosity, like, okay, I accept that this is happening in my life, and I am curious and open to all of the ways that this could be resolved, you are going to have solutions come into your life. And they're not going to be what you think. If you knew the answer, you would have already resolved it by now. So if you were thinking this is the only way this can be resolved, you're preventing yourself from finding the solution. So really thinking about the energy of like the mindset that's happening in your mind. If you're constantly like, why, what is causing this? When is this going to resolve? I would tell you to just take a deep breath and say something like, I have the power to resolve this problem. My body has the ability to heal itself. And I am open to all of the ways that this can be resolved. That is going to significantly change not only how you feel in your body around the issue, because when we have a health issue, it creates more stress and anxiety for us, and then we feel worse without even realizing it. And we have a hard time separating the stress and anxiety from the way that this chronic health issue is manifesting in our body, and then the actual issue itself. So if you can get into the energy of I'm open to solutions, that is going to make a big difference for you. And so again, if you're listening to this and you're like, Brianna, I need you to tell me exactly what to do, I am telling you. Be aware of the mindsets that you have. Be aware of, am I saying that this can only be resolved in X number of ways? Because there are infinite possibilities for everything that happens in the world. If we knew the answers to everything, we would be living the most amazing, joyous, healthy lives possible. But sometimes part of people's journey is to go through this to get to so that they are learning lessons along the way before they get to a solution. And there's a lot of resistance that comes up with chronic health issues when people are so resistant to doing things that they don't think are going to help them. They are preventing themselves from finding solutions. So I'm going to talk about a couple other things, and it may seem like I'm jumping around. If I am, I'm sorry. But one thing that is particularly important, and I think of all the things I'm going to talk about today, this is probably the hardest one, is that if you want to truly find the solution to something that's happening in your body, is you have to be in your body. And when people are, when people are experiencing chronic health issues, they want to be out of their body because it doesn't feel good to be present with how they feel. And so what happens, at least in my experience and with other people I know that go through this, they're like, I don't feel good in my body. So they kind of are detaching from it. And then all of the solutions and the things that they think are going to present themselves are happening up in your mind. And I will just tell you right now, your mind is not the answer. Your mind is not the answer to anything, not just chronic health issues. The answer is inside your body because your body is giving you messages and it has been giving you messages for a long time, but you are probably not listening to it because most people want to be out of their body. Because when you're out of your body, you don't feel the pain, you don't feel the fatigue, the stress, the anxiety, but you also don't feel the emotions. So when people are not willing to process emotions, feelings that they are having about what's happening in their lives, about things that have happened in their life, it will start to manifest in the form of chronic pain. And then people start to want to get more out of their body because they don't feel good. And then everything is happening in the mind. The solution is inside your body. And so, if you are having a chronic health issue, I'm just going to tell you one thing that I would be very aware of is when you are, well, let me back up, is whether you allow yourself to actually be in your body. Do you ever have times in your day where you have presence and you're not distracting yourself from the pain by constantly doing other things? So, having some presence in your life, however you do that, it can be meditation, it can be breath work, it can be as simple as you just closing your eyes for 1 minute and saying, I'm just going to push all of the thoughts that I have going through my mind aside and allow myself to just feel what's happening in my body. You have to be willing to do that. And people are going to be listening to this and be like, I don't want to. And what I can tell you is resistance is often the very thing that you need to lean into because your body can guide you to a solution if you let it. And I know this sounds obscure, and there's a lot of people that are like, I don't understand what she's talking about. When you start to get yourself, when you have times in your day where you have presence, meaning you are not thinking about things that have happened in the past, you're not thinking about what's happening in the future, you are just being very present to the moment that you are currently in, whatever it is that you are doing, you can start to recognize how you feel in your body and not try to escape from it if you are being intentional about it. So if somebody has a chronic health issue, I would say this is hard because I know you want to be out of your body. I've been there. Like, I don't want to feel this way. And it would make me so mad. And it was one of the reasons I was constantly in my mind about what was going on because I wasn't allowing myself to listen to what was happening in my body. And the thing about being in your body is that if you start to do that, you might actually start to resolve some of the issues on your own. And the reason is because chronic health issues manifest in your body as a result of unprocessed emotions and or beliefs that we have about things that are not serving us. So I'm going to give you an example, and it's going to be graphic, but it's going to prove the point. So if you were taking in food and your body was not eliminating it in the form of waste, you are going to get very sick. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how long it would take, but my guess is it wouldn't take that long. Like if you're eating and your body is shutting down somewhere in there and it's not processing the food and allowing it to exit your body, you're going to get sick. It's just going to happen more quickly than unprocessed emotions are going to show up. So what happens is emotions in the way that you feel about things need to be digested and processed and metabolized in your body the same way that food does. But what most people are doing is there are things that are coming up in their life and that makes them feel a way that's uncomfortable. So they say, I'm going to ignore that. I'm not going to be in that uncomfortable space. And those emotions stay trapped in the body. Or it could even be that you are willing to say, okay, I am aware of what this emotion is and I'm allowing myself to feel it. But if you don't allow that emotion to communicate to you something that you can do differently in the future, meaning you're not actually processing it and taking it in and being like, okay, I'm going to respond differently next time so that I don't have this same emotion, that is also going to result in things being trapped in your body. And over time, those things that are trapped in your body, the emotions and the unprocessed feelings, result in dis-ease in the body. And it often comes in the form of a chronic health issue, and it can manifest in a number of ways. It's not going to manifest the same for every person. But this is what a lot of chronic health issues are caused by. There are some that are caused by physical things, by the way. I'm going to say this again, I'm not a doctor. So if you're listening to this and you're like, well, high blood pressure is a chronic health issue that's not caused by mindset. True, I think that's true. But there are some things, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, chronic just everything, digestion, all these things are often the result of unprocessed emotions. And so when you can start to get into your body and say, I'm willing to not only feel the feelings as they come up and process them and say, what is this feeling relaying to me? And is there something I need to do differently to shift it? Then you're just going to be keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. The emotions need to be able to move out of your body. I would think of them like bricks just starting to pile up in your body and getting stuck, and they weigh you down, and it's going to show up in the form of a chronic health issue. So the more you can be like, yes, I'm willing to get into my body and explore the emotions that are coming up and process them and see what needs to be shifted and healed, that in and of itself can help you either resolve some of your chronic health issues or lead yourself to a solution, because you're going to be more in tune with your body and what it's telling you. And I will say, the more you listen to your body and not your mind, the better able you are going to be able to move through the world in all capacities, not just with a health issue. Your mind will lie to you, your body will not. People who are always in their mind, which is the majority of the population, people are constantly like thinking, overthinking, just running through every possibility. What could this be? What could this be? What can I do? People are thinking about everything. You can't think your way through a chronic health issue. You can't think your way through a lot of things, but if you start listening to your body, it will guide you what to do, whether it's related to health or something else. And I want to say this all relates to money. Not just because for me, my specific money beliefs were manifesting in the form of chronic pain in my body, but when you don't feel good in your body, you are not capable of operating at your highest level and being on your most aligned path, and it will prevent you from making the amount of money you want. Now, I will say, when I was going through chronic health issues, I was making the most money I've ever made in my life. And it was another very frustrating thing, because I'm like, I have money, I have a job that I wanted, I live where I want to live. Like, I'm like, I have all of these amazing things with my life, and I'm not happy and I don't feel good. So that sucks. But I know, looking back, if I had been feeling better in my body and if I had changed beliefs I had around my health and around a lot of things that were happening, including money, I would have been making more of it. That's the thing. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, how's this related to money? Everything I talk about is related to money. And the reason is because it's not about the money. It's about all of the things in your life that are needing and wanting to be healed. And when you start to look at the things that are needing and wanting to be healed, it will help you change your relationship with money so that you can get more of it. So when you have a chronic health issue and you don't feel good in your body, it's going to prevent you from achieving your greatest whatever you want to achieve in your life, whether it's money, love, friendship. And it doesn't mean you won't have those things, but it affects how you move through the world. And when you have a bunch of unprocessed emotions trapped inside of your body that need to get out, it affects you and it affects how you interact with other people. So it's all linked. And chronic health issues affect every area of a person's life. And it's one thing that's really important to me because I know how much I struggled with it and I see other people struggling with it greatly. And I want to help other people resolve these issues. And that's why I really do talk a lot about chronic health issues, because when you can start feeling better in your body, it's more valuable than money. Feeling better in your body is more valuable than a lot of things. And a lot of people don't know that because they've never felt good in their body. They have normalized feeling badly, even if it's just from like chronic anxiety, stress, and fatigue. And they don't even realize that there's a way to feel better because they never have felt good in their body. So I'm just telling you, even if you don't have a chronic health issue, if you start to be more in your body and be able to acknowledge emotions that are coming up, even when they're uncomfortable, process them and say, what is this, teaching me? What lesson can I take from this? Is there something that I can maybe do differently next time so that I'm not feeling this way? It's going to move the energy in your body. And so being in your body, there's no substitute for it. Like that's, if there's a shortcut, that's the shortcut. The shortcut is doing the work of being able to get into your body, because when you do that, you can resolve a lot of issues on your own, whether it's health or otherwise. The other thing I really want to mention is, and I said this before, but I want to say it and really go into depth on it, is when you are having a chronic health issue, being open to the ways that it can be resolved is going to change your life. The thing that's going to help you is probably not going to be what you think it is. I can almost assure you of that. The reason is because all of the ways that I resolved the health issues that I've had have not been anything that I thought they would be. They have not been any solution presented to me by a medical professional in Western medicine. And every person that I know that's had a chronic health issue has resolved it through a non-traditional method that they would have never thought of. So, being open to all of the ways that you can resolve a health issue means saying yes to things that you would not normally be open to. And what I mean by that is, I'm not just talking about things that seem health related. I mean, if you want to change your life, you have to do things differently, period. If you continue to do the same things over and over again, you have the same routine every day, you see the same people every day, you never have new people come in and out of your life, you never try new activities, you never try new foods, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, your life is always going to be the same, particularly with a chronic health issue, it will remain the same. If you are open to having things be different in your life, including a chronic health issue, you have to be open to all of the ways that can happen. I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say you're like, okay, you've gotten to the point where you're like, I accept this health issue that I'm at. I'm accepting that it is what it is. And I am open to all of the ways that a solution can come into my life. And then this weekend, your friend invites you to go to an event. It might just be like, it could be like a birthday party. It could be anything. And you're like, no, I don't like meeting new people. Or no, I don't like going out anymore. Okay. That might have been your solution. You might go to an event with a person and you might meet somebody who presents a solution to you to a chronic health issue. But you didn't get to find that out because you're not willing to do new or different things. So when I say be open to all of the ways that your life can change, I mean, start saying yes to all the things that you wouldn't normally. And I don't say yes to everything. You still have to be discerning. But what I'm saying to you is the universe will start presenting to you people, resources, opportunities, experiences that may lead you to the solution. And if you say no to everything, you are going to stay feeling badly. So start saying yes to some things. Like if people start reaching out to you and are like, oh, hey, do you want to go do this workout class with me? And you're like, no, I'm out of shape. Or like, I don't think it'll be fun. Or like, I don't really like that type of workout. What I would encourage you to do is when you are feeling resistance, is just be like, okay, I'm going to try this thing and it might be the solution. Just be open to it and just try it. Try something new. You might go to a workout class and feel the best you've ever felt in your body. You might do stretches that unlock something in your body that has never unlocked before. I don't know all of the possibilities. And I know it sounds like I'm just kind of shouting out some random things here, but I'm not. And I'm saying this because the way that you think this is going to be resolved is probably not the way, or you would have resolved it by now. If you start saying yes to things, you might meet somebody that has the exact same issue as you, and they're like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z. Here's the information of this person. That might be your solution. You might meet the person that's like, oh, yeah, I've helped people with that chronic health issue before. And it's something that you would have never thought. It could be something completely wild and wacky. Solutions will start to present themselves to you if you stop deciding the only ways that they can come into your life. So if you want your life to be different, you have to be open to it being changed in any way possible, saying yes to different things when they are presented to you, right? It could be that you just go to like an event with a friend and you meet somebody that is like becomes your new best friend. And who knows, like maybe just having a new person in your life can make you feel better. There are things like that that happen. There are stories of people that I have read with, Ayurvedic practitioners where they have people who have very serious chronic health issues, and then they quit their job or they just move out of the house they've been living in and they're fine. The possibilities for how you can resolve health issues are infinite. When I was experiencing chronic sinus infections and pneumonia for an entire year before I stopped working full time as a lawyer, I was seeing every kind of doctor. I was sick. I was so sick, and I kept getting sicker and sicker. Every single time I would get sick, it was getting worse. It was just like compounding on itself, and I would take an antibiotic because that's what the doctor would tell me. You have to take an antibiotic. It would go away. I would be sick again 4 to 6 weeks later. It was like clockwork. Nobody in the medical community had any idea what was causing it or what the solution was. I quit my job and I stopped getting sick. In the last year and a half, since I stopped working full time as a lawyer, I got one sinus infection. And it was last year during the time of the year where everybody was getting sick. I'd gone to some holiday parties, I'd been to some other events, everybody was getting COVID again. I'm sure I just got a virus that ended up leading into an infection. I have been sick one time, and I had been sick for an entire year chronically before I quit my job. So if that is not a good enough illustration for you that a health issue can be resolved in ways that you don't think it's going to be, that is like the best example I can give you. I have had multiple other people in my life, friends who have resolved their own chronic health issues using things and methodologies that nobody in the medical community could have told them about, or that they could have figured out if they had not gone down alternate paths. And again, I want to say this is not bashing the medical community. I believe in the medical community. I believe that it is sometimes the only solution to things. What I am telling you is if you believe that's the only way a problem can be resolved and there's not a solution there, you're going to be sick for a very long time. And I know I'm being kind of direct here, but I'm doing that because I want to wake people up and shake them from doing the same things over and over again. There are a lot of people believe that the only way a health issue can be resolved is through a doctor. And it is not the only way. I'm telling you, because I have lived it over and over again in my personal life, and I have seen it with friends around me, and I continue to see it. I have a lot of people that come in and out of my life that have chronic health issues because I have had so many. I will have people reflect these same things back to me, and clients, friends, other people I come across. I just had this happen last week. I was in a conversation with somebody that I don't see that often, and she was telling me about a friend that had been in the hospital for over a week with what seemed like heart issues. And she was describing to me an exact factual situation that a friend of mine had gone through. And I said to her, my friend went through this very same thing. And let me tell you, the solution to it was not a heart-related issue. And all of the cardiologists that he was dealing with were very confused. And he resolved his own health issue because he did a bunch of research and started treating his own symptoms. And it was not anything that anybody thought it was. And now he is fine. And it was not lost on me that this person was presenting themselves to me so that I could provide them with this name of the syndrome that my friend had been suffering from, because it's probably the solution to her friend's problem or closely related. That's what I mean by being open to things that come your way. And so, if you're having a chronic health issue, just let me tell you, I'm sorry to hear that you are, because I know how frustrating it can be. And I do know a lot of people that have suffered from chronic health issues. And let me just throw out a couple of things. If you are like, I don't know what to do some of the things that I've talked about today, but also start listening to some podcasts of people who talk about chronic health issues. There's a lot of people out there that do that. I know of some podcasts. If you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to share them with you. Or if you're just like, hey, have you had anybody that's had this issue? Start asking people, start listening to podcasts, start putting yourself in scenarios where like, okay, let me be open to other ways that people have solved these. There's online communities for people that are suffering from health issues that they don't know how to resolve. I've never participated in them, but I know they exist. So there are things that you can start to do to take your power back and finding the solution to your problem. But I will tell you, if you are experiencing resistance to doing something different, that resistance is often a sign that it's the very thing that you need to lean into. You might have a friend that calls you up and is like, hey, do you want to go rollerblading this weekend? You might feel so great in your body doing something fun and childlike that you might not have any chronic pain. I'm being very serious. I'm throwing that out there. Sometimes people find that when they start to have more fun in their life, they feel better. It's not going to be the thing that you think it is. So just be open. Know that the power is within you. The solution is in you. Your body has the ability to heal itself. The more that you get into your own body, the more you can use it to guide you to solutions for whatever the health problem is. But I would say absolutely the most important thing is just to be open to all of the ways that a solution can be presented to you, because it's not going to be what you think. It's going to be something that you're not expecting it to be. If you've tried what you think is everything, if you're like, I've done everything, well, then be open to other things that can come in and present the solution to you, because they will, if you are truly open and willing to change your life. And so I do really hope that you are able to take something away from this today, whether you're experiencing a chronic health issue or not. This is something that can help everybody, not just to feel better in your body, but to feel better in your life overall, so that you can start attracting more abundance and things that are aligned for you to live your most joyful, easy, healthy life. So thank you for listening to the Wealth Embodied podcast. Have a great day.
Hey, before you go, would you love to receive my 3-step masterclass to easily create and hold wealth for free? It's called Effortless Money, and it includes the exact framework to start attracting money effortlessly and manifesting abundance with more ease. If you want it for free, all you have to do is leave an honest review of the Wealth Embodied podcast, take a screenshot of this episode and put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Brianna_Faringer, and we will send you the free Effortless Money Masterclass. This is how my clients have manifested a $13,000 check, a promotion resulting in a $30,000 salary increase, and significantly improved relationships. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time on the Wealth Embodied podcast.